Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's the Missing. Also brought to you by A Sweet Summits by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David on Amazon books as well. Also brought to you by Elam Mythical, the think tank of the future, and brought to you by Haytan Music at haytanmusic.com. Check out her latest release at haytanmusic.com. We're here, amazing singer-songwriter from Oakland, California, and a regular performer at hotels, clubs in the San Francisco Bay Area in the 70s. Also making a comeback after a 45-year hiatus and featured on Glitter, Netflix, and 18,000 monthly listeners on Spotify and more. And also accompanied by a wonderful gentleman who's been instrumental in a career, and it's basically the rebirth of Carrie Cleveland, also come up high beans with Black Nova as well. Live, ladies and gentlemen, the Plus Studio somewhere in beautiful downtown Oakland, the outskirts of it. The amazing singer-songwriter, also making a comeback after 45-year hiatus. It's a rebirth of Carrie Cleveland. I guess I just said that. Ladies and gentlemen, multi-talented Carrie Cleveland, accompanied by Heston. Guys, thanks for joining us today. Good morning, good afternoon, and definitely good evening.
Good evening, Mike. Good evening. And I have to correct you, Mike. Since that bio was written, we're at like 31,000 monthly listeners.
So it went up. Nice. Okay, well, I'm glad you're correcting me on that. So it was at 18. Now it's at 31,000. Next thing you know it, by the time it gets out there, it's going to be double that. And you're going to say, I need you to correct that. And then by the time you get it corrected, it's going to double more. So I'm glad you let me know about it.
Mike, okay. Usually I do all the talking, and my mom is kind of shy, and I grew up in the house, so I know the story pretty well. In 1978, my dad had a band. The band's name was the Creative Set.
Mm-hmm.
And as being a supportive wife, my mom went along. My mom grew up in a big household, and back in the 50s, everybody had them doo-wop groups and them church groups.
Mm-hmm.
That was my mom with her sisters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So my mom and dad used to have their friends come over. It was a couple thing. I guess it was about 5, 6 couples. They would gather. My dad had a grand piano that he would play, and my mom would sing along. They would do cover songs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day my father had a job, and my mom was there, and unbeknownst to my mom, he called her up. Hey, well, we have this singer, blah, 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 blah. And so my mom came up and sung the Lord's Prayer, right, Mom? What song did you sing when you first sung the first song?
Angel Baby.
Oh, Angel Baby. Yeah, Angel Baby.
Angel Baby. Yeah, that's a great one. Love it. Angel Baby.
Yeah, so she sung that song, and she told me, I was so nervous that my knees was knocking, and a little boy in the front row said, wow, she could sing, but her knees are knocking. Look at her. And so, they played it quite a bit in the 70s. So my father decided to do I want to say EP. It was 6 songs and a instrumental. So I guess that's legally an album.
I think nowadays that could be considered an EP, but of course it depends on how you stretch it, market, everything like that. So I'll say it's an EP.
Right. Okay. I can live with that. So, my father had a garage studio. It was down a long driveway, and people used to come, but it was funny. Instead of the egg carton acoustics, he had the fiberglass. So you could only stay in there 2, 3 hours. You had to come out and you'd be itching, so that was.
Oh yeah, I remember those days. Getting in fiberglass after all, it's like, especially summertime, it's worse.
Yeah, yeah. So my father had a 4-track and a half-track reel-to-reel, and I could remember him. He was a drummer. He started off as a drummer, and then he switched to the keyboards. So he would do the keyboards with the bass. He played a whole song through. Then he'd come back and do the drums, do the whole song through. Then he would have like a horn player come or one other instrument, and they would play the whole song. And they ended up making 1,000 copies and 545s. And you go to the radio station, and you had to grease the DJ's hand to get it played.
Oh, I remember those days. I was there and they come in, hey, can you play this, play that, or go to the next guy. Can you play this, play that? That was serious marketing right there.
Yeah. So I used to tag along with my father. And then, but when they first went to press the record, back then the mastering, it was few and far between for a mastering studio. So we would go from Oakland to Hollywood.
Wow.
And I remember it being 6 hours. We would go there, drop off the reel-to-reels, and come back. Turn around. Then we turn around again and pick up the albums. So he had the albums, and I heard it play a couple of times on a local AM station. And then my mom sung one song, right? Take a Moment was the only one.
Yeah, usually when I would go out, that was the first song I would sing.
Yeah. So that was from the album Take a Moment. And they tried, they sold a few at a few shows. And then I didn't realize how good they were at the time, because that wasn't my genre, being as respectful as I can. But I was into Parliament Funkadelic. But I could stand there, I would go, I was the sound man. I could go and I would stand their music, it wasn't bad. So eventually my father died, and my mom's following was so big, she decided to continue the dates and continue the band. So I would drive the van and set up the equipment, me and a couple of friends, and hang out to the end, or I'll go do something and come back and pick them up. Eventually, the band members wanted more money, and they started trying to strong arm her.
Ooh.
And I can remember her saying, "You know what? I get the jobs. I have the equipment. I quit." So she quit, and the last time she sung before the comeback was at her wedding reception, right? In the Wayne backyard.
Yeah. When I got married for the second time, I sung at my reception.
And that was it. And that's when she moved out to where we are now, and lived life, Eventually I came out because my stepfather got sick.
Ooh.
So this is where the comeback comes.
The rebirth, I see. Okay. We'll talk more
Yeah.
about the rebirth as well as some of the works as well with Carrie Cleveland and Heston, if you don't mind, maybe just get a little bit closer to the center as well so we can hear and see your story and everything. That'd be great. Move the chairs and all that. So we'll get that in just 1 minute with Carrie and Heston Cleveland. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has got great reviews and even endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes, Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and coming soon to Amazon. Missing 2 with double the fun, double the action, double suspense, coming up on Amazon as well. Also, Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Elam Niptical, the think tank of the future, bringing scientists and engineers together from all over the world, creating a method to construct a renewable generator. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system. It generates more energy internally that needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything: homes, power grids, phones, laptops, and this power source is renewable, highly scalable, and more importantly, self-regenerating. Visit Facebook.com/ELUMNIPTICAL. That's ELLUMENIPTICAL. Elumniptical. Also, Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Sweet Psalms by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David, including 30 paintings in King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote and his time as a shepherd, where it all started, and his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, true love, repentance, betrayal, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner. Also, Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by High Time Music, featuring smash hit, Baby Comeback, and new music coming soon. Listen for details at hightimemusic.com and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, MikeWagnerShow.com. Take us with you on any mobile device. The Mike Wagner Show, over 40 podcast platforms, 100 countries. Also, check out the merchandise, t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. If you're looking to order, you can message us as well. And if you're interested, we'll send you links to go ahead and order. And for more great gift ideas, Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Check it out. Especially for the upcoming holiday season, make sure you check it out. We heard the amazing singer-songwriter from Oakland, California, regular performer, Carrie Cleveland, along with her son, Heston, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Before we get back to the rebirth of Carrie Cleveland, and you talked about your dad starting the creative set and everything else. Who are some of you guys' favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up? So both of you can join on that
one. Who's your favorite singer?
Oh,
singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up.
I like people like Dionne Warwick, Nancy Wilson, the groups. I can't even think of some of the groups.
Fifth Dimensions.
The Fifth Dimensions.
Four Top Spinners.
Yeah, Four Top Spinners. All them old good groups.
Well, I think I'm gonna go play some right now as well too. And of course, you also had some great music as well too. That after a 45-year hiatus, you also got Looking Up, Love Will Set You Free, Make Love to Me, I Need Love. You talked about Take a Moment, and I Got a Feeling. And you want to tell us more about those songs? And Heston, you can go and do so as well. Carrie, if you want to join in, don't be afraid. We don't bite.
Okay.
He talk fast, but he don't bite. Mike, coming to, where I left off at the Rebirth. I found a box of unopened records.
Oh, wow.
50, 50. So my stepfather had passed, and my mom lost 2,000 in income, 2,000 a month, because he was gone, and you know about the Social Security and all that.
Okay, so that was a loss of Social Security, 2,000 a month. Okay.
Yeah, so I Googled. Well, we were playing around looking at Beanie Babies. My mom has hundreds of them.
Really? I didn't know
And
she collected them. I mean, I was going to buy some for me, maybe like, buy for my kids. I can pass on to their kids, like my grandkids or something. So,
They're making them now. They're new. They got new ones.
mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, that was a big thing. I remember that. It's like the old Beanie Babies were collectibles, and then the new ones could be collectibles, maybe two times more.
We used to stand in line for to buy them, and now they back out again.
Oh yeah, and I think I might have some around too, but I'm not going to tell anybody what I have and everything else. In fact, I got might see a few of them. I think I'm sure they'll pop out sooner or later. But if they start walking
oh,
up to you
yeah.
and asking, it's like you'll know something's wrong. Maybe something's haunted. I don't know.
So one day we were looking at them, because I mean they're over 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked at some all day, seeing the value of them. And my mom said, "Well, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed." So she went to bed, and I'm still playing on the phone, looking at eBay, how much this and how much that. So I jokingly asked, "How much is an original copy of Carrie Cleveland's music?" Mike, it said $450.
Four hundred
And
and $50. Oh my goodness.
yeah, and I had 50 of them. So I met a friend, and he was into buying and selling vintage records.
Wow.
So I told him about my mom, and he Googled them. And so he said, "Man, let me get five." So I drove and gave him five. And at this time, a record store in DC bought five, and they gave us like 12, 1,200.
Nice.
And so I gave them to him, and he put a few in a record store. And about 4 days later, he called me, and he said, "Hey, I'm at the record store, and the lady wants to talk to you." So he gave her the phone, and she said, "Yeah, this record label wants to talk to you."
Really?
So yeah, so she gave him our number, and he called, and it was funny. I remember my mom answering the phone, and she came to my room and went, "I don't understand him. He's talking about the record." So I talked to him. His name is Chris Webb. He's the owner of Kalita Records. He said, "Man, I specialize in uh, reissuing funk disco type music,
Mm-hmm.
and Bay Area is saturated with them." So we talked, and a friend of mine said, "Well, you just doing nothing. You might as well try. It's not costing you anything." So we agreed, and the details were he spent $12,000, 1,000 records, and 500 CDs, and 500 singles.
Wow.
It was beautiful. The cover was just like the original cover, except it had Carrie Cleveland looking up the complete works.
Mm-hmm.
And you open it up, and it had the bio and pictures, memorabilia pictures, old posters, old band members. It goes all around.
Oh, I remember those posters and everything, and especially on album covers. Those are amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So it was 3 months, and it's the pay period is like every 6 months on a certain day.
Mm-hmm.
So it went 3 months, and we recouped the money and got money. And I'm like, wow, this is great. Wow. So the next 6 months went by, and I was heartbroken.
Oh no.
Yeah, he had sold out of all the records, and we were only making money on the streaming platforms and Bandcamp. So, I got mad. I didn't understand at the time, but he eventually he's a true guy. Um, After that next 6 months, I stopped seeing the post. I'm like, what's wrong? Why you not promoting my mom? And he goes, man, she's 78 years old. Unlikely she'll make another record. And I have another artist coming up. So,
Oh.
I had to think about it, and I humbly was like, well, okay. But I had already made my social media, not many followers at the time. People were direct messaging me and going, man, I just heard blah, blah, blah. Is that your mom? And I'm like, yeah, wow. So I would always tell my mom, this person messaged me and said this, and I read it to her. And, we would go, wow. So I got mad, and I learned how to share the music, um, get articles written. We got 3 television interviews, over 30, 40 radio stations all over the world.
Nice.
And I'm sitting here with you.
Well, you can make it 41 to the list as well, too. Or am I 42, 43? I think I've lost track. Just like the 18,000 monthly went to 31. And by the time I'm done, it'll be double that. And you'll call me up and say, hey, can you correct this on me? So,
you know, uh, the passion I have for, my family, because my mom and dad loved each other, and they had the common love of music. And I was the only child.
mm,
We were tight knit. My father was the neighborhood dad. I have people come up to me and tell me stories about my dad.
oh, wow.
Yeah, we went to old neighbor's family reunion, and my oldest friend came in, and we sat down and talked, and we reminisced about my dad. My mom laughed because one of my friends locked the garage door and locked everybody in there.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh,
you
no.
know? So that's the kind of neighborhood we had. The stories I have on my dad, he had a vinyl recorder.
Mm-hmm.
He got two. He got them from a pawn shop, and he cleaned the needle and hooked everything up, and it would play. It would play a little bit, and then it would eventually slide all the way across. That's how much they love music.
A vinyl
So
recorder. I've been in I've been in the business for years, and I've never heard of a vinyl recorder. I know they make vinyl at certain plants throughout the U.S., but a vinyl recorder, that is unique.
yeah, he bought the blank vinyls, you know,
Oh,
and
wow.
he would try. And one time I grew up with Too Short. So we were at the house, and my dad called us out there. And like I said, needle went all the way across, and Too Short blew up, went to stardom, and I had a friend that did music, and he asked me. He said, "Why don't you come with me to the studio?" So we rolled out to Sausalito, which is on the other side of San Francisco, and Too Short was there, and he kept looking at me, and then he started laughing. He said, "I want to buy me a vinyl recorder." And we laugh. So, that's the kind of stories that I had. So when the remake came, I start pushing it. I learned how to. I run my mouth, which you already know.
That's understandable. You're doing a great job of it too. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go get a vinyl recorder after this. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'll look at Amazon, by the way, too. So
it was a big old giant monster looking thing with a big old arm. People kept messaging me, and I'm seeing the love that we're receiving. I got the television interviews, the newspaper articles. I started posting them, and my mom's numbers just kept climbing.
wow, amazing.
So a friend of mine saw me on TV and found a way to get in touch with me. And, he's a local conscious rapper that's really good. He has a platform called Hip Learning where he goes to the schools and teaches lesson through rap. He's an activist. We met up and started talking. And he says, "Man, I'd like for you and your mom to come to a show." So it was Juneteenth, two and a half years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We go and watched him perform, and he had his following there, a group of us. And so, we start meeting and talking with each other. And everybody told a little story. I told him about my mom and another guy. His name was K.E. Durham, Black Nova. So
Black Nova, yes, that's one of the high beams, right?
yeah. So we meet again at Naru's house, which is the rapper I was talking about. He shot a video. And so Black Nova, he asked me, he said, "Hey man, I would love to do something with your mom."
Okay.
You got
This is the latest project here, High Beams with Black Nova.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, great. Let's talk about that in 1 minute. We'll get to that part with Carrie and Heston Cleveland. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mulsons Missing. Also brought to you by Elliptical, a think tank of the future. The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, available on Amazon and HowYouTimeMusic.com with her latest release. We'll be back to the amazing multi-talented Carrie Cleveland and Heston with the rebirth of Carrie Cleveland after this time. We're back to the multi-talented Carrie Cleveland, told by Heston here on the Mike Wagner Show. We talked about the rebirth of Carrie Cleveland, and a great rebirth indeed. And now it's make known with High Beams and Black Nova. And let's continue on a bit more about it and how it got started and what's it about. So continue on with High Beams with Black Nova.
Sure. So he asked us, and we were in the kitchen, and I asked my mom. I said, "Mom, what you think about singing again?" And she thought about it, and she said, "We could try." She says, "I don't know, but we'll try." So we ended up going to his house. He lived about 20 miles away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have her practice. First of all, we would practice. So the first time we went, I was like, "This is not gonna work," because my mom didn't sound good at all. She probably just now hearing this for the first time. So the second time we went, and honestly, Mike, I was like, well, it's not going to work. So we went over there one more time, and she sat in the booth, and all of a sudden the voice cracked and she hit that note. Black Nova, he jumped up out the seat and ran down the hallway. Like, yeah, we back. So I kept drilling in the story, telling the popularity of the album, how everything was doing. We had did a record signing party at a local record store, Hercules Records in Berkeley. Mm-hmm. No, Berkeley has the Haight-Ashbury, the hippies, and all the vintage record stores. There's a bunch of them in Berkeley. Berkeley and San Francisco, a lot of vinyl, record stores, independent record stores. So we did a record signing. My mom sung about 4 songs off the album. We sat there and she signed autographs and we sold records. Nice. At this time, we had to reissue. So we get there, the newspaper knew, the radio station knew, and Mike, it was packed. I'm outside running my mouth, and my mom started singing, for the sound check. I couldn't get in. They had speakers outside. I'm trying to get through the door. I couldn't even get in. And that day was beautiful. We was excited. And about a month after that, the pandemic hit. Ooh. We had offers to go to Italy and to do a Motown cruise.
Oh my goodness!
Through the Bay Area, but about a month after that, everything stopped. So I'm like, my mom was at the time I think 80. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's gonna be hard to restart this momentum. But that's when we came to Black Nova. So I kept telling him the story, and he looked at me. He said, "Look, I got an idea. I know you're protective of your mom. Trust me." So I humbly went, okay. So I watched him. He had the words line by line. She'll sing a line, right? And then he'll sing a line, and she'll sing a line. Punched it in. So he did the song, and I'm like, that's not bad. That's nice. Not bad. So he says, I want to do a video.
Okay.
Like, okay. He said, what's your favorite color? And it was red and blue. So we agreed on blue. So he ordered a dress for my mom. It fit. He didn't do no measurements. He just looked at her.
That's a rare trait. I gotta say that. That's a rare trait.
He did measure you?
Yes, he did.
Oh, I'm sorry. She said he did measure her.
Oh, okay.
For a man to be able to measure her and get a dress like that, he's in the wrong business.
I couldn't even measure myself, to be honest with you. How could I?
That's what I'm saying. So he got her dress. He took me to the tailor, got me a suit. And then, he had a partner, Ricardo Love. Mm-hmm. Ricardo Love is a studio engineer, great lead guitarist, master engineer. He was involved. So that's Black Nova, K.E. Durham and Ricardo Love. So, the day of the video, we go to this place in San Francisco. Looked like, I don't know how he did his research, but it looked like a place where kings and queens be.
Nice.
Yeah, my mom says it's a castle. It was red velvet all on the walls. The seats were like a great charcoal gray velvet. So we did the video. Matter of fact, we did 2 videos that day. And when he came to the house, he says, "I'm finished." It was on her birthday. He
Nice.
drove over, and I had a tablet because it was no way I could get it on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent it to me, and he sat in between me and my mom, and he played it. And I couldn't believe it. And I listened to the words, and I saw the story. I'm like, you was listening to me.
Nice.
So in between that, Ricardo Love was in a bad way, and he needed a place to stay. So it just so happens I had a friend that had a studio in Vegas. The engineer had died.
Oh my gosh.
So Ricardo went to Vegas and ended up working there. And so with his gratitude, he said, I want to remix 4 of your mom's songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay. So he redid Make Love to Me,
Uh-huh.
Love Will Set You Free, I Got a Feeling.
Keep on looking up.
No.
No?
And I Need Love. He did those 4. And
Oh, it's so amazing.
we put them in on the Spotify. And I'm not really understanding with the new music, the old music shot up.
It
So,
certainly does. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it just so happens that the record label called and said, I Need Love is up for a Netflix series.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was going to get to that part. You've been in Netflix and also Glitter as well, too. It's like it's not just the albums and social and on Spotify, it's getting out on other platforms.
Yeah. And just this past weekend, Saturday, I get another call. Love Will Set You Free is going to be in a documentary at the Modern Museum of Art in New York.
Nice.
So that song has over 1 million streams by itself. Collectively, my mom is at 2 million, 2.3 million.
Oh my goodness.
And every day, over 2,000 streams. I'm on Spotify for artists. It gives you all the demographics. It's played in Europe. It's played all over the world. And I keep telling her, she don't hear it from me, but if somebody else says it, she'll go, wow. And I'll stomp my feet. I'm like, I told you. I mean, what do you think about it? Have you listened?
I have got to listen, and it is amazing. Just blew me away. In the meantime, where can we find all of Carrie Cleveland's music? Where can we find all the other music and the website and everything else? Where can we find all that?
We can find all that at carriecleveland.com, CarrieCleveland.com. I'm on Twitter. I'm sorry, X at Cleveland Heston. I'm on Instagram at Heston Cleveland 5. Heston Cleveland 5 at gmail.com. Heston Cleveland on Facebook. And Carrie Cleveland is on all platforms. I can't
All right.
talk as fast as you, so I'll just leave it at all.
That's perfectly fine as long as people understand you and know where they go. That's so amazing. We're with Carrie and Heston Cleveland here on the Mike Wagner Show, talking about the rebirth of Carrie Cleveland and just a couple of things. What else can we expect from you guys in 2024 and beyond?
Well, as long as God permits, we're going to keep pushing. We did a show Saturday.
Nice.
We did a show Saturday. We're part of a community that goes out and reaches our community. It's called the Buku. It's Black Unity Conference Universal. We unify the unifiers. We have doctors come out and speak. We do things for the children. We give away food. And we share the love of music. You know, music is you could get a message out to music, you know, and music, you could always remember when you heard a song. Oh, I remember that song. I was, you know, like that. So my mom performs 3-4 times a year.
Uh-huh.
You know, nothing heavy, even though we have been asked to go to Europe. And within the last 2 years, we've been asked. But that's too hard. That'd probably be too hard on both of us.
Right.
So,
I
you know,
understand.
we're doing what we're doing. I just look at how many people love my mom's music. And another guy told me, he called me Cleveland. He said, Cleveland, it's not just the music, man. It's the story behind the music. And I know it's an amazing story. Like I said, Mike, the love I get, what's her name? Meryl from My Indie Radio. She introduced me to Caden, and it was funny. We talked for a long time, and that's how I found out how old he was.
Wow.
And he heard my mom's music and he messaged me back. He said, that's interesting. And I laughed. I'm like, yeah, 19-year-old don't know nothing about that. And so,
of course, many 19-year-olds may not know everything, but deep inside they do know everything. Don't underestimate the 19-year-olds.
right, you know, I don't, because he called me back. He said, Heston, your mom's music is beautiful. She's beautiful. I'm a do what I can to help you. You know, so he gave me a list of all you guys. And I messaged every last one. And one by one, everybody's coming to me. You know, like how we met. Unfortunately, we missed each other a couple of times.
It's probably okay. It's great to have you guys on as well, and we'll love to have you back as well. And just a couple more things. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career? Or should we talk to, say, Carrie and you guys? Who's your biggest influence?
What? Who's the biggest influence? You know, I'm gonna tell you this, and I know she agree with me. My dad. My dad. If you saw how he loved music, he had a heart attack.
Ooh.
And he would come to my room and ask me, can you set up the organ in the living room? I set it up. He'd sit down. Mike, he would play. Oh my God.
He'd play and then he'd go back to bed.
And I mean, he was the sicker he got, the better he was. He brought me out my room more than once, looking at him, and he had this smirk. He would play with a smirk, and he knew he was sounding good. You know, the people that came to the house, I'm gonna throw some names at you. Sly Stone.
Oh my goodness.
Tower of Power. I believe the Whispers came by a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
In Vogue came by. You know, Pete Escovedo, Sheila E.
Wow.
They would
Amazing.
come by the house. And his drummer was Victor Leonard Green, played for Fats Domino, James Brown, Big Mama Thornton, Chubby Checker too, right?
I don't know about everything.
Man, he played with a lot of people.
Yeah, I sung with BB King and
Bobby Blue Bland.
Bobby Blue Bland. That was my biggest people that I performed with.
Hey, Mike, you know the funny thing? We're talking now. Half the people don't have any idea who BB King and Bobby Blue Bland
are. Well, that can be for next time as well, too, and give us an update on that. We'll give more information. And what's the best advice you guys can give to anybody at this point?
Never give up. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up.
And Carrie, how about you? What's your best advice?
Well, I'm still doing it. I'm still trying. Sometimes I'll be so excited because the person we had audition with, what the lady was.
Oh, you know Jerry Petito. Last week she interviewed us, and oh my God, she is so funny.
Oh, best in the business. Big shout out to her.
She said that, wow, you such and such. Did she say my age? Well, she said how old I was.
Yeah.
And you still sound the same.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she asked my mom to sing as part of a song. And she went crazy. But you know, the community, I'm learning about the people who love independent artists. It's a whole world. I had no idea. Not really realizing that people like my mom are as good as my mom. And they get up and do a 9 to 5 and practice, you know. It's the love. It's not for the money, because we're not really making none, but it's for the love of music. And it's a common thing. You know, I just met you. And we have that in common, the love of music.
You got that right. And we're certainly great to have him as well. Just totally amazing. We're here with the amazing Carrie Cleveland with her son Heston on the Mike Wagner Show, the rebirth of Carrie Cleveland. Make sure you check it out. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. Again, what's the website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out Carrie's music?
You can check out Carrie Cleveland's music on all platforms: Apple, Deezer, Spotify, YouTube. Everywhere, Bandcamp, everywhere. The website is carriecleveland.com, CarrieCleveland.com.
All right, well, simply check that out. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. We wish all the best. And guys, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.